William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.
UMAR, AHMED, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're in Leeds. Pretty hostile Leeds, would you say, Dominic Ingle?
I'm trying to think. The most hostile place I've been is not this place. No, not really. Not really.
Yeah,
I tell you what, I've been to the Soweto in South Africa. That's quite an hostile place. This makes this place look like Disneyland.
You've been quite the topic of discussion today. Yeah, from your comments in the presser. I just want to ask firstly about kids' comments. That sparring's tougher than actual fight night. Just elaborate on that.
Listen, it's like, you know, you've seen Mayweather's gym. You've seen the spars what go off in there, yeah.
Yeah. Not in person, but on YouTube.
You've seen him on the YouTube. Yeah. You've seen what goes off in the wild card. This guy behind you here, Mia Khan.
Killer.
He's been to the wild card gym. Did you spar?
The cruiserweight, Ola Afuribi. Battered him.
Sparred. And it's a punch-up. And I don't care what Josh Warrington says. Yeah, you can have hard sparring, you can have easy sparring. But you may fight as a top fighter like Josh 2 or 3 times a year. You're going to do 12 rounds, that's 36 rounds. Obviously, he's sparring for fights. Now, Kid Galahad's been in sparring with, over the years, Linares, Ricky Burns, Valdez in the wildcard gym. They're trying to kill you in that place. Now, that's all down to experience. When you get into the ring, you know what you got to do. You're in the fittest place you're going to be. It's not where you're sparring, because when you're sparring in different places, you're not 100% fit. You might be 70%. So you get experience from that. And training should be hard. Camp should be hard. The fighting bit is the enjoyable part. It's easy. So if you do your training right, you do your weight right, you do your sparring right, fight night is the enjoyable part. Most fighters would turn around and say, if I just get in the ring and have a fight, that's the best bit. Training, the hard slog of it all, is the worst bit. So it might be easy for Josh. I know the kids he's been sparring for this, and it probably is easy sparring. But you can't get that type of experience in a 12-round fight. You've got to have a lot of variation. And this is where Galahad's going to excel, because he can deal with more styles brought to him. Whether it's orthodox, southpaw, switches, whatever it is, he can do it. And he's sparred guys at the top of the game, and they're not going to give any ground. They're not going to take it easy, because they've got a reputation. So, you take that into consideration, you bring it, on fight night, and you use it as experience.
Dom, after the head-to-head, Josh Warrington stuck his middle finger up at you. Read anything into that?
Not really, no. I'm saying I don't. He could come over and give me a dig, and I'd probably laugh. He probably don't punch hard enough to trouble me, but it's like, I don't take it personally. I've got the skin of a rhino. I'm very thick-skinned. It's like I do have to laugh when people think I'm rattled, and it's like water for ducks back. I've been doing this for all my life, but probably for the last 25 years. Years ago we had Junior Witter fight Zab Judah, and we've got Mike Tyson on the top table. Do you understand? And Junior started kicking off with Zab Judah. Tyson went forward, like aggressive-looking fella. Been in these situations before. This is nothing. It's like water for ducks bike. It might be their big thing, and it might be Sean's big thing. He's trained one world champion, and probably after this, he'll probably never train anybody else again. We've been doing it for the last 20 years. It's like we've got experience in this situation, and generally, going into a fight, what your chances are. You've got to be realistic. And I've been in world title fights where I thought you're up against it. It's going to be a tough fight, this one. I predicted Kell Brooks right winning in the world title. I knew when Junior Witter boxed Timothy Bradley it was going to be a very close fight, but because of personal problems with Junior's dad, I thought there could be a chance of getting beat, and he did get beat. And look what Timothy Bradley went on to do after that. Became a great fighter, made plenty of money, and the difference in that fight was a point. So you have to be realistic, and the feeling I'm getting about this fight is it's going to be a very, very tough fight. It's going to be swings and roundabouts all the way through, but Galahad's going to have it in the tank to get the measure of Josh Warrington and beat him.
Just tell me why you believe he's going to be able to cope with Josh's work rate and intensity.
Listen, work rate's all right. Ricky had a fantastic work rate. All right, and he just happened to come up against Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And, they're great fighters for a reason. I'm not for 1 minute comparing Kid Galahad to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, but it's knowing how to deal with different styles. And I think Kid Galahad's very good at that. He can deal with them type of styles. And, can Josh Warrington deal with what's coming back? Realistically, I think Lee Selby and Frampton fought the wrong fight against Josh. They fought Josh's fight. They got drawn into a fight. And he's always going to beat people at fighting. When really the person who's going to beat Warrington is a boxer. Somebody who's a bit smart, who can fight, box, move. He's got a lot of everything. He's got to be more than one-dimensional. And I think Frampton and Selby were both, one-dimensional in the fights against him. I think Frampton got caught with a shot early on, what really set him off. A bit like Joshua getting caught in the third with that shot. Frampton got caught in the early first 1 or 2 rounds. I think they were both rocking, or Frampton was rocking, and it more or less put him on his back foot for the rest of the fight and put him into survival mode. And he didn't have time to think about what he was doing. Frampton needs a lot of time when he's fighting to think about what he's doing.
So if that didn't happen, do you believe Carl could have won that night?
Not really, because I don't think Cole, like I've said in a lot of interviews, I think Cole in his prime would have beat Warrington, but he's not in his prime. Do you understand? The losses to Leo Santa Cruz, a win and a loss. When he won, he was fantastic, brilliant. It was a great fight. He went to America, beat the guy everybody was talking about. But in the rematch, he got beat. Now, where did he get beat? Did he take his eye off the ball? Did Santa Cruz adjust? Did Frampton not adjust? What went wrong? You would have thought he would have beat him again, but he didn't. So that was the beginning of the slide for Frampton. He had a bit of time out, came back, didn't look great in his comeback fights, and then obviously winning against Warrington and got beat. So fair play to Josh. He's beat the guys who've been put in front of him. But Lee Selby and Frampton weren't the guys at the top of the game when he beat him.
Okay. Talking about Frampton, actually, I interviewed him in New York recently, and he said that he believes Warrington's going to bash Kid up, and that you guys are going to throw the towel in. That's what he said.
No, we're not going to. I don't think. I think the only time the towel's ever gone in is Kilbrook against Golovkin, and that's it. And we don't. That's what. If I were Frampton, I'd be more inclined to hopefully that they both finished the fight, or somebody won and he was going to fight the other one. But he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet about Barry.
Why do you think that is?
Listen, because fighters have a bee in the bonnet about anybody who doesn't give them the respect that they think they deserve. And that's what Cole Frampton's about. That's probably why he got beat against Warrington, because he probably expected Warrington to give him more respect than he did, and he didn't. He just ran into him. You could see him at first fencing off, and a bit of a chess match. You could see Warrington thinking, "F this," just ran into him and threw and landed. And the chances are either Warrington's going to get clipped or Frampton is. And that's Frampton's superiority coming again, thinking, "Oh well, he gave me a great fight. If he's given me a great fight, he's going to flatten Galahad because he's crap." So wrong, if he's actually sat down and assessed it all and worked it all out, you don't get to 26-0 as a boxing record without being half decent. You don't get to be British, Commonwealth and European champion without being half decent. Do you understand? And you don't win a world title eliminator without being half decent. So you look at who Warrington beat in his world title eliminator, and you look who Frampton beat in his world title eliminator to become champion. Well, they weren't the great will beaters, were they? Dennis Salon weren't fantastic. So, that's how it is. We'll see on Saturday night who's right and who's wrong. If Warrington wins, fair play. He deserves it. It's obviously his time, but nobody knows how long your time lasts. Nazim Nami's time lasts for a couple of years. Kell Brook's for 2 or 3 years. Johnny Nelson's lasted 7 or 8 years, world champion. So nobody knows what your time is. You understand? It's winning that fight and keeping in front. And I believe that Josh Warrington had his mind set on winning the world title fight, and anything after that was a bonus. He's probably got enough money now not to have to worry about working. If he looks after it, he's probably got a few hours, has done all right, and he's probably want to start living life. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what his level of commitment is.
Dom, in the press conference you said that Kid Galahad is 90% plus. Some people picking up saying, why isn't he 100%?
Because if anybody tells you, look, you'll have to look back over. You have to look back over old interviews. People always saying, "I'm 100% for this fight. I've had a great camp."
Are they just lying?
No, they get beaten and they turn around and there's some excuse. I had a cold, I had a virus. There's no fight is ever 100%. You don't know you're 100% until you've won that fight. And you think, yeah, you're 100%. But coming up to it, it's like you can be 90% on your training, 90% on your diet, 90% on your sleep. The 10% is the fight. You win the fight, you've added the 10%. So people can read into it what they want. What did Josh Warrington say? Josh Warrington didn't answer that question, didn't even mention whether he was 100%. He didn't say anything. But, it's like, I'm being realistic. I've trained world champions. I've trained more than one world champion. I've trained Kell Brook, Johnny Nelson, Junior Witter, Billy Joe Saunders, who came to me from another trainer. And it can so easily go wrong. When you've trained, a fighter comes from somewhere else, all the eyes are on you to make sure that person performs. And when Billy Joe Saunders came to me from Jimmy Tibbs, who was a world-class trainer, he had 2 great fights, William Monroe Jr. and David Lemieux, performances of a lifetime with David Lemieux. So to be able to do that with some other fighters we haven't trained for 5 or 6 years, or 5 or 6 fights or whatever, to take them from coming in completely new and new, you got to know what you're doing. And I hope I know what I'm doing. And I look at Josh Warrington, I think, yeah, he's a great fighter, and he's got a big engine and he can fight and whatever. But it's my job to assess him and think, right, what have we got? How are we going to beat him? And when it comes to the fight, it's the will to win of both fights. It's who's got the determination in the fight. He can be the puncher, he can be the boxer. It's who can execute the plan. Who can keep the head when it's getting tough. Josh Warrington's proved that. But I also believe that Kid Galahad's done it in his own way as well.
Just the last question. Kid, can you just come in for this last bit? I was just telling Dom I spoke to...
UMAR, he's famous.
You know what? Tyann made you super famous.
Yes.
I want to meet Tyann though. I've never met him.
He's he's under the radar.
Hey,
he only works at night time.
Tyann has took him from here to here.
Yes. Made your name famous.
Household
so what's
name.
the question?
I've already asked you this, but I spoke to Carl Frampton in New York.
Yeah.
He believes that Josh Warrington's going to beat you up brutally, his words, and that Dominic's going to throw the towel in. I just want to get a sort of response to that.
Well,
what we're going to do is we're not going to take a towel into corner, yeah?
Yeah, actually Carl Frampton thought he was going to, go in there and flatten Josh Warrington, and I actually said no, he's going to get battered.
And he did.
And he did. So I think my prediction is probably better than his. His boxing IQ is not what it used to be. He spends too much time in the pubs drinking his
Guinness.
Corona. No, he likes
Corona.
Corona, he likes Corona. And eating tacos.
With the lime in the top.
So, if you want to... He's hoping and praying for that. Because when I beat Josh Warrington, he's going to be absolutely fuming.
Okay, on that note, boys, we'll end there. Best of luck Saturday night, guys. Cheers.
No problem.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're doing a sleep.